Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 7. And let me just start off by saying that Erika's B acting on that yacht had to be one of the worst performances I've ever seen. I mean, girl, that was a desperate cry for screen time if I ever did see it. Diana, I hope you know that when this season ends, you will be handed your pink slip. You're boring, stale, dry, no personality whatsoever, racist, and then you want to sit up here and come after Garcelle?
You're not fab like that to be doing all of that. Learn your place, earn your spot.
But let me not jump ahead. Let's just get right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare. So the episode starts off with them having a nightcap in Diana's presidential suite. Now, mind you, everybody's there except for Rinna and Garcelle. So we see Crystal playing bartender. Diana says that she just wants to have a good time and have some fun. And I'm like, girl, shut up. When I tell you that half this cast needs to be gone, Season 13, I don't need to see Crystal. I don't need to see Erika. I damn sure better not see Diana Jenkins on my screen. Okay? Kyle could be demoted. Rinna could also be demoted, but you know how it goes. They're probably going to be on full time, but at least 3 or 4 people need to go because a lot of these storylines have run dry, and Dorit could definitely be demoted as a friend of the show too. But again, I digress. So everybody's talking and laughing. Erika reiterates that she told Sutton that she made the new girl cry, and it's like, Erika, I'm just not understanding how all of a sudden you're some sort of morality police. As nasty as you are, you were threatening Sutton last year. You didn't care if she cried or not. So now for you to act like Sutton's the worst person in the world because she raised her voice at Diana. And if we're being honest, Diana high-key deserved it. Because Diana's been very nasty, very passive-aggressive towards Sutton, calling her weird, saying that she's clumsy with her words, this, that, and the third. So when she tried to jump in at the dinner, Sutton had every right to say, Diana, shut up, stay out of it, leave me alone. So now we see Sutton bring up her ex-husband, how they lived in Laguna Beach at one point, and one time he wanted to go surfing on a boogie board or something like that, and he completely wiped out. So they're laughing about that. Erika wants to know if Sutton's ex-husband ever remarried. And then she says, I'm just asking in general. I'm not asking for myself. So Sutton laughs it off. And you notice that Sutton didn't answer the question because I was like, girl, we still don't know. Is your ex-husband remarried or not? Let us know. But anyhow, Diana starts talking about her divorce, how her and her ex-husband are still good friends. They had a happy marriage and a happy divorce. It wasn't any drama. He gave her half of the money, and they're all good. I thought it was a joke for her to say that she didn't marry for money and the divorce wasn't about money. I said, but Diana, if your ex-husband tried to cheat you out of the divorce settlement, you would have been raising hell, so it was about money. So now Kyle jumps in and she's discussing her ex-husband. And I remember her bringing him up in the first season of Beverly Hills, how she got married when she was 19 or 20, and her ex-husband was a producer at CBS. And so they had Farrah, and then they got divorced. Kyle goes on to say that he was a great guy. She felt guilty because at the end of the day, she was just way too young to be married, and she just couldn't handle the responsibilities of being a wife at that age. Now, if you know the backstory about Kyle, Kathy, and Kim Richards and all their history, you know about their mother, Big Kathy. I talked about it when I went live a few days ago. But their mother was the ultimate stage mother. And she advised all her girls to marry very rich. And I wouldn't be surprised if their mother, Big Kathy, was urging Kyle to divorce him and do better. Because at the time, Kim was married to an oil billionaire. Kathy married Rick Hilton when she was 19. So Big Kathy was probably looking at Kyle like, girl, I mean, he's cute and all, but you can do better and you can do richer. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's really the reason why she divorced her first husband. Again, just a theory of mine, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, we also learned that Kyle's ex-husband never remarried and that he and Mauricio are actually really good friends. Now, I thought it was a bit telling when Sutton went on to say that although her ex-husband is a good guy, she wants from under his control. And I was thinking, how does he still control her if they're divorced? She already got her divorce settlement from him. She's also on a hit TV show, and she's also a celebrity. So I'm like, how is she still under his control? I was a bit confused about that. But anyhow, Erika chimes in and says that she feels the same way because since she's still married to Tom and all these lawsuits keep hitting her, she wants to know when this is going to be over. Sutton goes on to ask Erika if she ever feels guilty about what happened to these victims. And Erika says, no, why should I? It's like a doctor's wife. Does she feel bad about her husband's patients? No. So why should I feel guilty about what Tom did to these people? And Erika, this is the reason why people can't stand you. Because the fact that you don't have any empathy for these people who lost everything dealing with your husband says a whole lot. It's just so confusing to me at how you're so cavalier about this whole entire thing, especially since you're on national TV, knowing that everybody's looking at you and dissecting every single thing that comes out of your mouth. Now Erika says that these are the kind of conversations that she likes having with Sutton. Now, Erika, Sutton was trying to have these conversations with you last season, but you didn't want to hear it. And Sutton, I can't lie, I was really irritated with you because, one, why are you sitting next to her? Why are you even having a conversation with her? Like, this woman cursed you out, threatened you, called you everything but a child of God, didn't apologize to you. But now you're sitting up here having a drink with her and sharing a laugh and smiling like nothing happened? Like, what? So now Dorit interrupts and gives them the itinerary for tomorrow. They're going to be going on a luxurious boat ride. And so Sutton makes a joke about how she'll pee on somebody if they get stung by a jellyfish. And then Erika says, well, pee on me if it happens to me. Like, all 7 of you guys, pee on me. And it's like, what's wrong with you? Like, Erika just wants attention so bad. Now we go on to the next scene. It's the next morning. All the ladies are getting glammed up for the day. And now we see 2 parallel scenes of Kyle, Dorit, and Rinna talking by the pool, and Crystal, Sutton, and Garcelle talking by the pool as well. So we see Kyle and Dorit telling Rinna about how they had a nightcap in Diana's suite, and how Erika and Sutton were talking the whole night and acting like they were best friends. So now Rinna goes on to ask Kyle and Dorit if they think that Crystal plays victim as some sort of defense mechanism. So they kind of agree with that. I believe so. Honestly, I just think that Crystal doesn't fit in this group. She knows she doesn't fit in. I think that she's a social climber, and she will weaponize her words and spin a situation in her favor, even though she knows that she's in the wrong. I thought it was really funny of Rinna to say that sooner or later playing the victim blows up in your face. I said, but Rinna, not too much, because also being a very messy instigator and a liar blows up in your face too. And the season that your card is pulled, I will be here with bells on, believe that. So now we see Sutton, Garcelle, and Crystal talking, and Sutton says that her and Erika are actually getting along on this trip, and she's pleasantly surprised. She says that we're not BFFs, but we're talking. Garcelle says the only reason why Erika's being so talkative and being so friendly because she's tired of talking about herself and this whole case. So she goes on to say that Erika called her all these foul names last season, and then she says, well, I guess it's because I called her a liar. So now Crystal jumps in and says, but you called me a liar too, Sutton. And it's like, but Crystal, you are. Because don't you dare throw an accusation like that and then say, well, I don't want to say, it's okay, it's forgivable, we're good now. You can't do that. Until we can get some receipts on what was said, you're a liar. Period, point blank. If I'm being completely honest, if I were Sutton, I wouldn't be speaking to Crystal. Because the fact that Crystal could have easily ruined Sutton's reputation, had everybody just taken Crystal's word for it and not pressed her on what was said, that would have ruined Sutton. And Garcelle's too nice as well, because there's no way that Crystal could ever speak to me again after she wanted to check me and throw out a microaggression talking about, oh, I understand that you don't get big words. There's no way that Crystal could ever sit next to me, nothing. They would really have a time with me on these shows, because the way that I can ignore somebody, like production could not force me to speak or reconcile with certain people. It would be like, no, I'm not talking to them. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not speaking to them. It is what it is. You know what it is. At my core, I'm not pressed about people liking me. If you like me, that's great. It's fantastic. I love it. But I'm not going to die if you don't. A lot of these women, they really are pressed when somebody's mad at them or doesn't like them. Like, it really just bothers them. And that's why they want to sweep things under the rug and befriend people who have treated them so poorly, because at the end of the day, they want that validation. So now Garcelle starts grilling Crystal about her behavior, and she says, Crystal, is that the reason why we think that you're manipulative, because you hold on to stuff for such a long time? And Crystal says that's what it is, because it takes her a long time to process stuff. I just call BS on this whole thing of, well, you know, I'm not trying to be this way. I just hold things in, and that's why it looks like I'm playing victim. You threw an accusation out there. The group challenged and questioned you. You realized, oh my gosh, I overplayed my hand. I'm in over my head. What do I do now? Oh my gosh, let me spin this around and start crying. This conversation with Crystal, Garcelle, and Sutton was just BS to me. Crystal's not being honest, and then her saying that she's going to work on speaking up more. I was like, okay, girl. If that's the case, then speak up and let us know what exactly was said. But you can't do that because you're lying. This needs to be Crystal's last season. Another housewife who brings absolutely nothing. So now it's the next scene, and it's time for the ladies to get on the boat and have a good time. So already, Erika is 3 sheets to the wind, and Rinna makes a comment how she's known Erika for 7 years, and she's never seen her this tipsy. My personal opinion, I didn't buy it. It felt very fake. It felt very forced to me, because let's be real. When you're drunk, you don't usually say, I'm drunk, I'm drunk, I'm drunk, do you? You usually still think that you're sober. I know from personal experience, when I've been drunk, I've never said, I'm drunk, I'm drunk, I'm drunk. You're usually saying, oh, I'm fine, I'll have another one. I don't know why, but I just felt like Erika was acting in this scene. I wasn't amused. I didn't think any of it was funny. I think it was very staged, and again, I want some attention, and I want some camera time. And what's the best way to do it? Oh, let's act like I'm just so drunk and I don't know what I'm saying. I wasn't buying it. And if we're being honest, I got the impression that the other women thought that Erika was putting on for the cameras too, because nobody really seemed like they bought her being so drunk. They were all giving her this side of like, okay, girl, like, I guess, you know, we'll play along, but you're just doing this for some camera time. Because when a friend really is drunk, there's a bit more concern. And they were all looking at her like, okay, girl, you know, just sit there, do what you have to do. Like, she just wasn't drunk to me. I don't buy it. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, but I know I can't be the only one who thought that Erika was putting on a very bad performance. So anyhow, they're all on the boat. Erika's downstairs on the couch, talking to herself, taking a bit of a nap or trying to take a nap. She's just going on about how she used to have a boat back in the day and it was called the Illegal. I said, that's a very interesting name for a boat. The Illegal? I said, okay. Very fitting. So now we see Diana say in her confessional that she loves being on the water and how she has a yacht. We see that she has this gorgeous yacht that she charters for $300,000 a week. And now Diana has the nerve to say, I mean, this boat that Dorit got is not a yacht. It's not even a luxury boat. It's just a day boat. I was thinking, what a nasty thing to say. And for somebody who grew up so dirt poor, you have some nerve to now look down your nose on just a regular boat. Just so pretentious, so nasty, so snobby for no reason. And stop trying to act like you're old money. You're not. So now we flip to Garcelle, Diana, and Sutton having a nice conversation. They're trying to get to know Diana more. And this has to be the first time that we've seen Garcelle and Diana interact. Because you guys pointed out that Garcelle and Diana have yet to say 2 words to each other. And I think we all know why that is. Because Miss Diana doesn't seem to be too fond of black people. So anyhow, Garcelle's asking Diana about her upbringing, if she has any siblings, and Diana says that she had a brother, but he passed away. So Diana's explaining how her brother passed away. She says that it was really scary because they thought that he was kidnapped, and then they found him days later. He was in a ditch somewhere, and their dad had to ID the body. So Garcelle and Sutton are really sad to hear the news. Like, oh my gosh, Diana, I'm so sorry to hear that. And then Sutton says, hearing this brings up feelings about my dad's suicide. So now Diana is really upset because she's like, I can't even have my own moment. Sutton makes everything about her. Like, I'm just so annoyed. All roads lead back to Sutton. I was like, Diana, must you find fault with everything that Sutton says? Because anybody could see that Sutton was sympathetic towards you. She was just trying to let you know, girl, you're not alone. I know how it feels. I lost my dad. That's all that was. She was trying to connect with you on that. And the fact that you're going to turn it around and make it like Sutton's being self-centered is disgusting. And Diana, did we forget how self-centered you were? Because when Rinna was like, oh yeah, Dorit and PK just got robbed, you didn't even say, oh my gosh, that's awful. All you said was, oh my gosh, I was with Kim Kardashian when she got robbed in France. What you should have said is, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you guys okay? That's what people with some common sense and common courtesy do. But you made it about yourself, and you also wanted to flex on how you're friends with Kim Kardashian. So miss me with all this, well, all roads lead back to Sutton. She's so self-centered, because you're very self-centered as well, so don't do that. So since Diana's annoyed, she makes up this phony excuse, and she's like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm gonna go inside because I'm just too hot out here. It's like, Diana, you have an issue with everything, huh? Because how are you mad that people want to get to know you better? So now we see the ladies eating lunch, the spread looked amazing, and now Erika comes up to join them. Erika's still playing up this, I'm so drunk, I'm so lit, I don't even know where I am. She's still doing that. I was like, Erika, you're 50. Nobody's buying this. So as they're changing into their bikinis, Erika's talking about threesomes. She starts questioning Crystal like, Crystal, who would you and Rob sleep with if you ever had a threesome? So Crystal says, excuse me? So Erika says, yeah, girl, if me and Garcelle pulled up on you and Rob one day and we said, okay, we want to, have sex with y'all, would you do it? And now Crystal's like, girl, that's not really in our future anytime soon. If you thought that Erika was just asking that because she wanted to be silly, think again. She wants to know, would they be down? Because I wouldn't be surprised if she has her eye on Rob because Rob has a bunch of money. And with Erika's finances being in shambles right now, she's trying to get close to any man with a coin. And the fact that Crystal's husband has that Lion King money, she was asking because she wants to know, would they be down for a third in their marriage? Now at this point, I think Kyle or someone else starts playing some music and they play Erika's song Expensive. And we see Diana by herself and she dives off the boat into the water. And it's clear that she's not interested in this group. If you notice, every time they have a group scene together, at a lunch, at a dinner, Diana always looks awkward and out of place. She's not trying to be around this group. And I was screaming at how Diana wasn't in that water more than 3 minutes and she got stung by a jellyfish like that. I'm not gonna lie to you, this boat ride scene, it was okay. Nothing super major happened besides Erika pretending like she was drunk and Diana getting stung by the jellyfish. It wasn't that lit of a boat ride. It was kind of stale to me. So now we jump to the women back at the resort, and they're all getting ready for dinner. We see Garcelle and Sutton FaceTiming each other. And so Garcelle's like, girl, what the F was wrong with Erika today? Like, did you see her? And so Sutton says, I mean, listen, alcohol and Xanax is a terrible combination. And while that's 100% true that alcohol and Xanax is a terrible combo, I still don't believe that Erika was really that drunk. I think that she was putting on for the cameras. I just didn't buy it. So now we see all the ladies arriving to the restaurant for dinner. And I have to say, I'm usually not a huge fan of Kyle's outfits, but this sheer number that she had on, I liked it a lot. That was very cute. So anyhow, as they're ordering their drinks, Garcelle says, guys, I want to invite you all to my birthday party next week. It's going to be lit. Like, I just want you guys to come. You don't have to get me any presents. Like, you being there is going to be enough for me. So now Kyle jokes around like, you know, she didn't say don't get her a present. She just said that it's not necessary to get her one. And then Sutton makes a joke about how Garcelle is being low-key shady since Sutton forgot to get her birthday gift for last year. But I said, Garcelle, stop being so nice to these women. They need to come and show up with a gift in hand, especially to make up for how they treated you last season. And these women have so much money. They're so wealthy. They're so rich. They need to show up and show out. You need to see some orange boxes from Hermes, some Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, okay? They better not show up with nothing. So everybody's super excited for Garcelle's birthday party. And then Rinna says, oh, I'm so sorry, Garcelle, I can't make it. I'm going to be in New York since Harry has his play opening up. So Garcelle's disappointed, but she understands. But then she says, Lisa, I don't want to start anything, but I actually invited Denise and she's going to be there. So it's a bit awkward because we all remember how they did my girl Denise Richards. Rinna's like, oh, okay, well, you know, that sounds good. I'm glad she's coming. I hope you guys have a good time. But the way she's saying it, she doesn't mean it. And Rinna trying to get nasty in her confessional, talking about, it's just funny that Garcelle tells me now that Denise is coming since I can't come. But if I was coming to her party, would she have told me that Denise is going to be there? And it's like, this is Garcelle's party. She's not obligated to tell you who's on the guest list. So now Rinna comes clean and admits that she actually reached out to Denise a month ago. So she says that it went well and how she apologized for how she treated Denise. And Rinna, you can apologize all you want to, but me and the rest of the audience will never forgive you for how you did your friend of 25 years. And the way I was living for Garcelle, being petty and texting Denise to make sure that Rinna wasn't lying about reaching out to her. And when Denise Richards texted her back and said, when? I said, okay, there you go. And let's be real clear. The only reason why Rinna has regrets for how she did her friend is because she saw all the backlash she got from the fans. Had we been on her side, she would have still felt justified and been happy about how she did Denise. But she wasn't expecting for us, the audience, to say, girl, you were dead ass wrong for doing your friend like this. Bravo, I know you guys watch me. I love you guys. Can y'all do me one small favor? Can you guys please get Denise Richards back on the show? I would love to see her for season 13. If you could have her, Garcelle, Sutton, and then have Cherie Zampino moved up to a full-time cast member, that would be the dream team right there. So now Diana interjects and says, I just want to let you guys know that I like you guys a lot. You guys are a spectacular bunch of women. So Garcelle's like, okay, girl, I guess. And then she makes a joke that Diana's full of it because she barely wants to talk to them. I said, thank you. Somebody's clocking Diana because it's evident by Diana's actions that she doesn't care to be around any of these women. She barely wants to interact with them. So for her to say, oh, I just love you guys so much. You guys are just great. It's like, girl, who are you trying to fool? So now Garcelle addresses Diana being hesitant to talk about her book the night before. She goes on to say that it felt like she was being rude and how Dorit was just trying to get to know her. So now Diana comes up with some BS excuse about how she feels uncomfortable tooting her own horn. I'm like, baby, just say how you really feel. You don't want to talk about that book, because of all of the allegations surrounding that book regarding you and a certain person regarding, okay? That's the real reason why you don't want to discuss it. You'll brag about how you have a private jet, a yacht, you don't go to stores, you have a Cartier ring for every finger, so miss me with, well, I just feel uncomfortable bragging about myself. Stop it. And Diana, how dare you try to come for Garcelle, talking about, Garcelle's the one who's unwelcoming, Garcelle's the one who's rude, because I was trying to get to know her, but she shut it down, her loss. Sweetheart, nobody's trying to be your friend. And it's really interesting that you have a problem with the black woman who was actually welcoming to you and was trying to get to know you earlier on the boat. But you're the one who shut it down by leaving. The same way that you made a racist remark towards a black content creator, but you didn't get mad at the white content creator who made the meme in the first place. And if you missed that drama, I did the video about it, all the information, watch it, okay? Because Diana is a racist and she's been exposed and she needs to be off this damn show. So now the conversation changes gears and Garcelle brings up how earlier in the day, one of the guys on another boat whipped out his penis for all the ladies to see it. So they're all laughing about that. And then Sutton says under her breath that she has a date when they get back from Mexico. So Erika says, oh, you do? And then Sutton says, yeah, girl, I have a Bumble account. So she's showing all the guys that she's talking to. So now all the ladies are pointing out how Erika and Sutton are getting along. They're happy to see it. And then Erika says, well, Rinna, your mom just died. We want this to be a fun trip for you. So of course we wouldn't argue and fight on this vacation. I'm officially tired of this whole back and forth with Sutton and Erika. It's evident that Sutton and Erika both want to be friends with each other. So now we see the ladies toast to Lois. Rinna makes a speech thanking them for this beautiful trip. And now Dorit decides that she wants to one-up Rinna, and she decides that she wants to give a speech too. And Dorit was going on and on and on. I'm like, Dorit, you think it's okay for you to be so long-winded? And Dorit was saying a whole bunch of nothing. And it's like, Dorit, you didn't see everybody's eyes glazed over while you were sitting there running your mouth, rambling on and on about nothing? It just seems like Dorit has this thing where she wants to have the last word and she wants to act like she's just so deep. Girl, you're not that deep. Deal with it. Just say, thank you all for coming. It was a beautiful trip. I had a great time. But you're going on and on and on. It's like Rinna already made a speech. Why did you feel like you needed to join in and make a speech too? I was actually screaming when at one point Kyle was just so tired of it. She just burst out laughing. And then Dorit was like, oh, I'm long-winded. That's why she's laughing. And Dorit, you talk so damn much, but then you have the nerve to be upset when somebody calls you out on it. Maybe if you would stop talking so much and trying to dominate the conversation, folks wouldn't be saying that about you. This really has to be Dorit's last season. I'm sorry. I mean, her storyline has run its course. I'm tired of her. I don't care to hear about this robbery any longer. I've been sick of her for some time now. She should have been fired when Teddy was fired, if we're being honest. So now the dinner's over and now the ladies are heading to bed. Kyle's annoyed because she wants to have a nightcap and hang out for a little bit. And so it's just Kyle, Dorit, and Diana at the lobby, and they're having one more drink and talking. Now, I will say, I'm like Kyle in this regard. I'm a night owl. I like to be up. I can stay up all night just talking. And especially on vacation, it's like, why are you going to bed so early? So Kyle, Dorit, and Diana are just sitting in the lobby talking, and they bring up the drama between Sutton and Diana. And Diana says that she was just really thrown off by how Sutton was speaking to her. And she brings up yet again how Sutton is clumsy with her words and how she's a bacon-eating vegetarian. I said, if this woman brings up the fact that Sutton ate a piece of bacon one more time, I'm gonna scream. And can we talk about something for a minute? Y'all, I thought you guys were joking down in those comments when you brought up how many times Diana licks her lips. I'm like, is everything okay? Are her lips chapped? Do you need some bliss stacks? Like, girl, what's going on? And Diana missed me with all this tough girl talk, because when she said, yeah, Sutton would have gotten headbutted, and I said, really, Diana? You're supposed to be a woman of elegance and class, And you're talking about headbutting somebody? Really? These ladies love talking so tough, but the first one crying when somebody raises their voice at them. How does that work? So we get to the last scene of the episode. They are leaving the resort and they are getting on Diana's private jet to head back to LA. So we see all them getting on the plane, but we hear Sutton asking Diana if she can sit with them. So we hear Diana say to Sutton, sit how they were sitting before. Pretty much saying the same seats that we were sitting in when we got here, let's do that same seating arrangement now. Sutton is really upset by that. She's teary-eyed, she's visibly shaken, and she's telling Garcelle what just went down. She's like, yeah, I asked Diana if I could sit with her, and she told me no, like go sit over there. So Garcelle's in shock, and she's like, wow, like that's really bitchy of her to do that. And so Sutton says, I mean, who does that? Obviously, this is retaliation because of how I yelled at her a few nights before. I was thinking, Sutton, here's where you went wrong. I wouldn't have asked Diana if I could sit next to her in the first place. And Sutton, whether or not Diana is holding a grudge about how you yelled at her, let it roll off your back. Like, I was really upset that Sutton was visibly bothered about being turned away like that. I'll be damned if I let somebody make me feel a way about a seating arrangement on a private jet. Like I said, I would have asked, can I sit there? I would have sat there. And I would have dared somebody to tell me to get up. So Sutton is super hyped now, honey. And she says, I don't need her plane. I can get my own plane. And Garcelle says, yeah, you can. Like, I know that's right. And then Sutton goes on to say, Garcelle, if you were on my plane, you could sit wherever you wanted. I said, Sutton, just make sure that you're extra petty back to Diana. The next trip that you guys go on, you make sure to charter the plane and you tell Diana where to sit. And I loved when Garcelle told Sutton, by the way, if you're planning on buying Diana some flowers as a thank you for letting us use her private jet, please don't put my name down on it, okay? Like, I want no parts. I love how Garcelle's letting it be known that she is not here for Miss Diana. And we're not here for her either. But y'all, that's where the episode ends. And when I tell you that I am so excited that next week's episode is going to be lit, we are going to see Cherie Zampino make her debut on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I cannot wait to see Garcelle have an ally, another beautiful Black woman on the screen. I'm just excited. And you remember Cherie from Hollywood Exes. She's Will Smith's ex-wife. And baby, she's going to bring it. So, Cherie, I cannot wait to see you in next week's episode. And Beverly Hills is giving what the girls said it was supposed to have gave in the words of Rolling Ray every single Wednesday. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching my recap. I hope you all enjoyed. And you guys already know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.